before we jump in to talk about file transfer protocol and uploading your website live and all that sort of good stuff, I want to give you a little walkthrough of the control panel, or cPanel as Just Host calls it. Basically, the control panel is the back end to your hosting account. And most of these different hosting providers, Just Host, Bluehost, GoDaddy, HostPapa, they use control panel or cPanel, and it's the same software, looks the same, does the same stuff. It just accesses different parts of their hosting services. So to access your cPanel, just go to myjusthost.com or my.justhost.com, and that will take you to the hosting login. Log in with your domain name or username and then password. And basically that the username was provided to you in your welcome email from Just Host or your other hosting provider. And go ahead and log in there and hit submit. And so you'll be taken to this page here, and this is your control panel. And from the very top here, you could see you have hosting domains add-ons account. If you need to play with any of these, then feel free to do that. You need to add more domains, or you need to modify your account information, you can go ahead and do that. You have the sub menu here: home, control panel, server, email, website, FTP, so on and so forth. Those will be self-explanatory if you find yourself needing to modify your email accounts, or you need to get access to your databases. They're all right here. From the top, you have your preferences pane here. You can use a getting started sort of, or walk me through sort of tutorial if you want to have a little bit more in-depth of a tutorial for all the little services that you can do. You can change your password, language. You can do certain things like update billing info. And then here we have the mail pane. You can modify your email accounts. If you were to click this, it will take you to another page with all the email accounts that you can add. And it's really cool because you can add unlimited email accounts depending on the service you added. And then you could do certain things, play around with your forwarders, autoresponders, things like that. I don't really use any of these things except for email and webmail. File management, this is where you can access your FTP manager. If you were to click there, it will take you to an FTP manager page. And then you can go ahead and create an FTP account. If you wanted to, if you hired a developer and you said developer at bradhussey.ca, you created a password, and then you chose the directory that you wanted that developer to have access to. You could change a quota for how much they can add to that directory. You can create the FTP account and provide that to them so that they can, do what they need to do. And then you could delete that account when they're done doing their work. So that's something that you could do with that. And then you have down here, domain management, if you want to add or register new domains, subdomains, park domains, things like that. Database tools, this is if you needed to add and remove or play around with MySQL databases, and we will be doing that, especially once we jump into the WordPress section. WordPress needs MySQL databases, and this is where all that is kind of built in. So that's a great tool. Software services, I don't use any of these, but if you find any need to play with those, then go ahead. Security, if you wanted to deny an IP address, if somebody's been trying to hack your site, their IP, you can do that. You can play around with these sorts of things. You can access your website via shell access, if you know what that is. If you don't, that's totally okay. Not a big deal. Stats, you can see different stats about who's visiting your site and things like that, but Google Analytics would be better for that. Advanced, again, these things, I don't really even play with this stuff, but if you wanted to see server status, 404 settings, play around with, different error pages, then you could do that in here too. Website builders, this is the only thing that I actually, in terms of their extra tools, that I actually use. And Install WordPress lets you pretty much one-click install WordPress. You click on this, you go through the steps, and it will help you install a fresh copy of WordPress right on your hosting. And it requires little to no skill, which is great if you needed to install WordPress quickly, but we'll be going through that in the WordPress section. These things, if you want to play around with the Mojo Marketplace, different WordPress themes and such. Updates, if you want to have a dedicated IP, secure sockets layers, upgrade your hosting, you wanted to add different sort of features. This is just basically an upsell pane. Things like professional services, those are there. I don't use those. Promotional, you get free $100 to Google AdWords, and you get some Bing ad credits. That's great, because if you want to get started with Google AdWords or Bing, then there you go. You can just do this and you get $100. You use a coupon code and it gets you started. So that's nice. I've actually used that before and it's great. This stuff, I don't need any of that sort of stuff. Okay, so that is your control panel. Just a quick little overview. And if you want to know more about the control panel, just click the Walk Me Through tab over here, and you could literally see everything that you'll need to know about the control panel. Say you were going to add a service to your site, or you were going to, you had to hook something into your site, and their developer said, hey, I need you to add an A record to your hosting panel, to your site. And you're like, what the heck does that mean? Go to this little tab here and just start typing an A record. How to create an A record. Goes through and it literally tells you step by step of how to add an A record to your domains. And so there you go. It gives you all these sort of step-by-step tools. It's actually really great. So that's the control panel. It's useful to know how to do. And most of the control panels look the same, give or take some different styles and so on and so forth. So yeah, hang tight. See you in the next lecture. We're going to be jumping into file transfer protocol and learning how to upload your files to the internet, to your new domain.